So this new year, 2021, I was actually trying to, set my goals and trying to just overall know what I want to achieve in this 2021. And I know it's not easy, and I know you need some tips for it. So I just wanted to share with you what tips I think are helpful and which kind of things you can do also during and after this pandemic or lockdown, depending on where you live. Hi everyone, welcome again to Hashtag Career Goals. My name is Veronica Alfonso for the ones that don't know me. And yeah, welcome to this video. 2021 is here, we're setting our goals. And I know this is not an easy task because you're in front of this blank paper sheet and then you just want to write down something, but you don't know what you want. You don't know how to do it, or even how to do it in a proper way, or in a way that it's gonna help you actually achieve them in the future. So I just wanted to share with you a couple of things that are super helpful and that I found super helpful, because every time that I want to set a goal, I just learned, or I just realized that I keep going back to these tips. So the first tip is to write down your goals. I personally think that is super helpful to just do it and write it down on a physical paper and with a pen or something, or a marker, whatever you like. Because when we do it on a computer, it's just a different feeling. I don't know if you've gotten this when you're studying, or just when you want to write down a to-do list, it just stays more in your brain. And I have somehow, I think I have heard about this being, I have heard about a study that where they saw that this was actually something that could help your brain, so probably it's good. But for me, I mean, my personal opinion is that it really helps you to just keep it more in mind and just save it in your brain. So my first tip would be just take a paper and a pencil and go ahead and write down your goals. And also, the good thing here is that you can have them on the wall, you can hang them somewhere, or you can have it with you in a binder that you like, and you can look at it every single day. Because sometimes, let's be honest, you have this app on your phone and then you're supposed to write down your goals, but you never go back to the app because it's so boring, or you're so lazy that you just don't want to go back to the app because you have it there. But it's not something that you have to look at every single time that you open your closet, for example, or every single time that you go to the toilet, or that you're brushing your teeth. There are so many people that also do like post-its on the wall just next to the mirror, and they just look at it every single day and they visualize this goal, and they are constantly thinking about that and just doing steps that are going to make them be closer to that goal. My second tip here is to separate them in general and specific goals. I find it also really helpful when you just have a general goal, like find what kind of career I want to pursue, and then go into specific goals where you are going to plan, or where you are going to visualize, or where you're going to just say to yourself how you're going to achieve that general goal. To have more examples about the specific goal, we just said that the general goal would be find what career I want to pursue. That's like your main goal in 2021, for example. And if you want to break it down into specific goals, then you can say, for example, contact 2 professionals working in different industries every single week. And let's say that you want to contact these professionals to have career talks with them. You want to, for example, ask them what they do, how they do it, how they got there. Anyways, many more questions that you would have about that career. I actually have several videos about questions that you can ask some professionals. I'm gonna leave the video here, and it's about job shadowing. And in job shadowing, and in this video, you can actually find many questions that could be helpful for you. So check it out. So another specific goal that you could have, that where you're breaking down this general goal that we just talked about, could be, for example, to learn about 20 or 30 new careers in a month. When I'm saying learning, I mean researching, or you can go online. And let's say you're going to have 1 hour a day and you're going to just research about one career that you're interested in, or that you heard about, and so on. So this could be a specific, really specific goal. Another really specific goal could be, for example, to do one job shadowing session a month. Like I just mentioned before, you can find my job shadowing video up here. There I actually have one where I explain what's job shadowing, and another one where you can see the questions that you can ask during a job shadowing session. And my third tip is about using the SMART method to set out your goals. The SMART method means that your goals have to be specific. That's the S. Then the M is measurable. Then A for achievable. Then R for relevant. And T for timely. So let's start with specific. So it's really important, like we mentioned before, to be really specific and to break down your general goals into really small ones and specific goals. This breakdown that you're gonna make has to be really specific, like if I want to know which career I want to pursue, that's my general goal, then one example of being specific is to have at least one career talk with one professional a week for 3 months, let's say. That's really, really specific. And if you also take into consideration measurable, you're seeing that I said like one professional a week for 3 months. So I can actually know if I contacted 3 professionals a week or I didn't. So it's really easy to measure. It's really easy to know if I actually achieved that amount of people or not. Also, your specific goals have to be achievable. Let's be realistic with the goals that you're setting for yourself. I mean, don't pressure yourself too much, because when we get to the point where we have too much pressure, where we are just burning out, then we just don't want to do it anymore. And that's not what we're trying to do here. We're trying to make things enjoyable and easy to do. Of course, you want to push yourself, you want to challenge yourself, but you don't want to burn yourself out. Make your goals achievable. So for example, a really good example would be if one of your goals is to get 2 internships a year, that's something that probably you can achieve, because usually the internships are like for 3 or 6 months. So 2, 3 a year, I think it's a good amount of internships that you can visit in 1 year. But if you're like, well, I think I want to have like 15 or 10 internships this year, how are you going to do that? You only have 12 months in the year. So probably that's not achievable. And this is like a really exaggerated example, but I guess you get the point. And the R for relevant, they have to be relevant for this main goal that you want to achieve. If you want to break down the main goal and you want to break it down into specific goals, they also have to be relevant to help you be a step closer to that goal. Then maybe a relevant goal could be you can do a job shadowing session a month. So that is relevant to your main goal of career. And the last part of the acronym is letter T, and is timely. You have to set your goal for a specific amount of time. I mean, this is the only way that you are going to assess if you actually achieved the goal or not in the time that you set yourself to do it. And this is important because when we say, for example, I want to do this by April, I want to know which career I'm going to pursue by April, then you have in your mind this finish line, this due date. And of course, you know that you have to do all these things to get there. And then you know that time is going to run out. It's not forever. You don't have forever to just find out what you want to do for the rest of your life. So when you set your goal for a particular time, amount of time, then somehow your brain is also going to adapt to it, let's say. So in this example where I mentioned have at least one career talk with one professional a week for 3 months, it's really specific, it's measurable, like we mentioned, it's achievable probably once a week, at least once a week is super achievable, and it's relevant, it makes you a step closer to your main goal, and it's also timely. You have 3 months to complete this, and you have set yourself for a particular amount of time. So my fourth tip here would be realistic, and this is something that we already discussed in the SMART method with the achievable part. you have to be realistic with what's going on in your life, how your 2021 is looking like, and which kind of goals you're setting yourself to do or to achieve. Because let's say, for example, if you are moving to another country in 3 months and you want to be in an internship and you want it to be a full-time internship. So I don't think it's going to be really helpful for you to pressure yourself with these both things that are going to take so much of your time. So be realistic with your time, with your events, with what's going on in your life. If you're going to another country in 3 months and you're moving your whole life to another country, probably you have paperwork to do, you have visa issues, you have accommodation things that you have to figure out. You have to spend time with your family, with your friends, which is also really important to also have a healthy balance in your life. And probably you have to organize the things that you're taking with you. So in 3 months, there's a lot to do. And plus, you are putting on top of everything an internship. Just be realistic with yourself and your times. Can you achieve this? Is it possible for you? Are you going to be comfortable with this? Is this something that you really need and that is a priority for you? It's also important to think about priorities when you are setting out your goals. And my fifth and last tip, and it's like a bonus tip, if you're seeing this video by the time we are in 2021 and this is still a pandemic, corona pandemic, and maybe you are in lockdown. I am in Germany, in Munich, and we are basically in lockdown. I can not even go to a restaurant here. So if you are during this time and you are seeing this video during this time, this tip could be a bonus for you, could be helpful for you. And this tip is about setting your goals for during and after the pandemic. During the pandemic, probably you're not going to be able to do many job shadowing sessions or any at all. Many people are not going to be willing to go with you for a coffee and talk about their careers because it's not possible. So my advice for you would be to also set 2 different kinds of goals or lists of goals if you see that they could be affected by the pandemic. So let's have 2 perspectives or 2 lists. The first one could be during the pandemic, things that you can achieve during the pandemic and during a lockdown. So let's say you want to move everything possible online. This is not something new for anyone. I'm not discovering anything awesome here. You know that right now you just have to do everything online and try to achieve your goals in the best way possible, but online. And it's super possible right now. I mean, I think it's achievable, like we mentioned before. I think this is something that you can do. For example, you can contact people online. I also have another video where I talk about networking on Instagram. You wouldn't think that this is something possible. And for careers, I mean, come on, Instagram, maybe LinkedIn, but Instagram, yes, it's possible. You can do it. Go check it out. I'm going to also leave it up here. And also you can maybe attend events online. There are many sites where you can see which events, or you can search which events are there for career seekers, for people that want to change careers depending on what your situation is. I really like Eventbrite. I really enjoy that one because they have everything that you want to know about events, it's there. Every kind of event that you want, it's there probably. And Eventbrite is a really cool one. I'm gonna link it in the description box. And Meetup, it's more for meeting people, but maybe sometimes they have some kind of events as well that they are developing right now online. And if you know any other platform, just comment below and let me know, because I'm an event freak and I love it. I just love to go to events. So like I said, if you are networking online, then probably you are reaching out to some professionals and asking them about their careers and having and if they want to have a conversation with you about it. So if you cannot go to a cafe and have a coffee with them, just ask them if we can have a Zoom call or Google Meet. So you can just go online, jump into a call, and yeah, talk to them and ask all the questions. That's a good way of also meeting people. And maybe some months ago, or even a year or 2 years ago, having a call with someone and just talking and getting to meet people online was a bit weird, but right now everyone is doing it. It's so normal that I think it's even more normal than going for a coffee. People are like, I have to move. Maybe we'll just jump into an online call and that's it. And then, of course, for things that you can do and that you can achieve after this pandemic and lockdown, maybe, of course, everything the opposite, like going to events, university events, career talks in person with professionals, job shadowing, internships, many more things. Of course, then you have your whole spectrum of possibilities is open, and there are way more to pick from. So these are all my tips that I have for you that I think are really helpful and that I have used in the past as well. Of course, not the one from Corona, because I didn't have this in 2020, but it's something that I really consider for this year. And I think it could be really helpful for you as well. I hope you like this video. I hope that you really are trying to set out goals for yourself and trying to achieve them, even though we are in a weird and maybe not so nice situation right now with the pandemic, and I really hope that you achieve them. So thank you so much again for watching. Remember to subscribe, to hit the bell, subscribe to all of our channels, Instagram, Twitter. We have also a YouTube channel that we recently opened in Spanish. So if you are a Spanish speaker, you can go there. And also, we want to launch this year our podcast. So if you're listening to this right now and you are already listening to it in a podcast, yeah, thank you so much for watching and subscribe. So see you in the next one. Bye.